Hi, ETC EOS family training, and what we want to do today is let's just turn some channels on, turn some channels off, and just show you some really of the most rudimentary controls. Let's jump right in. Okay, so here we are, and we're back in our little virtual keyboard. And let's just talk about how we can turn channels on from the keyboard, right? So I could just say one, and I just click the one, and now I need to hit clear. If I have red information that appears on the bottom of in my command line, that means I typed in something that's not great, right? That is, I did it in the wrong order. To get rid of that, I'm just going to hit the clear button, right? So let's go back and say one, right? So channel one in the command line at full, right? And now to finish that command, I'll say enter. I'll notice in my live table that I brought channel 1 to full. That is in the command line. That command line is now clear. I don't need to hit clear to get rid of it. The next thing that I type will go ahead and take care of that. So let's just say now 2 at 50, enter. Now, there's another way to do that, right? They allow us a shortcut. That's an old programming trick. You can just use the whole number. We could say 3 at 5, enter. That will also bring it to 50. You don't necessarily have to type the 0. 4 at 55, enter, brings that to 55. How about 5 at 3, enter, brings channel 5 at 30. If I want a value less than 10, I must type the 0. If I would like channel 6 at 7%, I type in 07, enter. And now that's at the value of 7. It's not often you need that, but there are times. There are times when that's useful, right? So this is just a shortcut of how to call up channels at value. Now, if I would like 6 to go out, it is still selected. You can see that I've typed it in, and I have this yellow box around it that is showing that I have 6 at a value, right? It's already selected. At this point, I do not need to retype the channel number. I can just give it its next command. At 8 turns it on to 80. Or at 1 will take it to 10. At full, enter, will take it to full. It is a 2-digit display in the tombstone, so 100 will be listed as full. Any value below that will go from 0 to 99. All right, so now if I just want it to turn off, I don't like that light and I don't want it on. If I just click out, it will go to 0. This is one of the few commands that does not require an enter. And all I have to do is hit out, and it goes out, and it finishes that command for me. Now, let's select another channel. Let's say 5 out, and now that's selected, and then we turn that out. What if we want to select a range of channels, right? Maybe I want to select several channels. And why don't we say I want to select channel 27 through 30, which is this row right below here. We can say 27 through 30 at full, enter, right? So the AND key, or I'm sorry, the through key selects a range, a consistent range of channels, and allows me to manipulate all of them together. At 3, enter. Out, right? So now that's a range. What if I just want channel 53 and 55 and 57? I could say channel 53, and now I use the plus key, and 55 and 57. And this is now, I'm going to just say enter. Now they've just been selected, and I have them selected. All I did was hit enter, and I say, look, I'm going to do something with them. So just go ahead and finish that selection, and now I can decide what I want to do with them, right? At full, enter, right? Or at 25, enter. And I can modify them however I choose. But the AND key has allowed me to select different channels, discrete channels throughout the console, and I can select whatever I want, right? To clear a selection, all I have to do is hit the clear button, and the clear button will clear whatever it is that I have selected last. It'll just open that. Now let's talk a little bit about the minus button, and I'll do 79 through 84. What if I want to select channel 79 through 84 except for channel 81? I could select 79 and 80 and 82 and 83 and 84, but that's a drag. So why don't I say 79 through 84 minus 81, enter. And I've now selected all of those channels except for channel 81. I personally don't use that as often as I could or I should, but it is an available option to be able to remove things from a selection. Even if I've done this at this point and I would like to get rid of one more of these, I can say minus 82, enter. Did that work? I just typed it in wrong. How about minus 82 instead of 822, enter. And I can remove channels from within an already active selection. I can also add 105, enter. And I can add channels to a selection if I have missed something. Rather than reselect a whole range, I can add a little bit to it or take a little bit away from it. Again, these and, through, and minus are regarding selection of channels, right? Selection of the tombstones. Okay. Clear gets rid of my selection. I have all of these red values up here, and a red value is unsaved information. I've turned all these lights on and I'm looking at it, but I haven't saved this information anywhere, right? And so what I would like to do is I decide that I hate it all. Actually, let's turn on one more light. Let's say, how about 32, right? And say full, enter. Okay, so I've turned on channel 32 into this look, but I really hate it. All right, and I will talk more about it later, but there is a difference between 0 and null value, right? Now they both have the fixture turned off, but there is indeed a difference between 0. There's a difference between what channel 6 is doing and what channel 7 is doing, right? And we'll talk more about it when we get into tracking. All right, but right now I have channel 32 entered, and if I want to completely remove it, right, so that it is not showing a 0, that it has null value, I do know why it's labeled what it is, but at the top of your channel modifying area is a button called Sneak, S-N-E-A-K, Sneak, right? And if I have a channel selected and I just say Sneak, enter, it will fade that channel out. It'll fade it out in a 5 count, and when it gets to the bottom, it will leave that channel with no value, right? Let's take a look at channel 6. Channel 6 is out, but if I don't want it to be a 0, wait, let's go here. I need to go back. And so how about 6, Sneak, enter, right? And that removes it from the channel selection, right? It removes any data that is in there, right? If I would want everything to go away, I made this look, I don't like it, and I want it to go away, the first thing I'll do is I'll hit clear to clear my selection, and if I hit Sneak, enter, it will remove all information. It'll remove everything. The sneak button is wonderful and handy, right? It also, you may want to be careful with it because it's kind of easy to wipe out an entire queue that you've just built and not saved. And if you did a clear sneak enter, you will take all of the values of everything that you have programmed and you'll wipe them out. Okay, right? So that was and through and minus and channel selection and at values and clear sneak enter, and I think we can pause at this point and I'll see you again.